If you haven't been paying attention to anything but the Warriors, certainly understandable. Giants creeping toward 500, and the San Francisco 49ers have started OTAs this week. And here's where I'll start.
Go ahead.
You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me with this quarterback situation. 7 years into Kyle Shanahan's tenure. Seriously.
We're laughing, but go ahead. I'm with you so much of what you're about to say, but
now
there's two NFC championship games and a Super Bowl.
Though. Yeah.
With
I thought
not
it was about
Joe Montana quarterback. Well, but you're the guy that says, "Goo, Andy Reid on line one, let it play out." And everything that I think about coaching and winning, I'm going against with Kyle Shanahan because he took Brock Purdy, the last Mr. Irrelevant, people. He let that guy quarterback his team, and together they made beautiful music and got to the NFC Championship game. So I know Brock Purdy is not Dan Marino. They got thumped because he was not a part of it.
Yeah, they're offensive
come on,
and
Steiny, meet me more than halfway with that.
They would not have won that game with Brock Purdy. Their offensive and defensive lines were getting dominated.
Okay, but Steiny, to the point to where it got him hurt. But
they lost 31-7.
But the game was 7-7 after he went out the game. But
come on,
I feel like you're judging Brock on a half of quarterback in that game. We didn't even get a half.
I'm judging Purdy on 8 games.
Oh yeah, well yeah, he won all those.
That's right.
In 2 playoff games.
You think Purdy's going to be better than he was last year?
I think there's something really good. I want to be wrong.
Then they're not going to win it. Then they're not going to win at all.
You can't say that.
They need him to be better. They need a better quarterback.
And they may have one. I'm hoping it's Trey Lance, but Sam Darnold with this offense, you're laughing.
I am.
But you would have laughed if I said Mr. Irrelevant is going to take this team and go 8-0 and get him to the Steiny, this is about Kyle. As much as I criticize his in-game management, he can do it. He's Frank Sinatra, his way, with damn near whoever. No, I'm not just – this is real. I've watched that NFC Championship game, which wasn't even a game, 50,000 times, and I said to myself, how the hell can Kyle not take a step back with his offense with Mr. Irrelevant taking over for Jimmy? So now if you're telling me it's Darnold, who I don't want it to be, there's nothing, no shade at Darnold. I'm rooting for Trey Lance. Like, Trey, if Brock Purdy can do it, I'm expecting you should be able to do it. And you got a head start if Brock Purdy's going to miss some weeks. If you can't beat out Sam Darnold, I mean, the organization should want him to beat out Sam Darnold. They don't have a
Super Bowl quarterback on their roster, as far as I'm concerned. And you don't know that. You're right, I don't. But I've watched their quarterback now do them in every single year, virtually, of the Kyle Shanahan regime.
I just hate that you...
Sorry.
Him getting hurt in the first quarter, the second, third series, I just feel like you're watching that game as a game that he stayed upright and they lost.
They lost by 4 touchdowns. Like, I'm not, like...
He was knocked out,
okay,
though.
And you know what? And the Warriors won a title a year ago. So, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
It was an ass. So I guess I'm asking you, partner, you can sit here and tell me and the listeners that you've seen Brock Purdy lose a game? I'm not telling you he's perfect. I feel like we haven't.
I feel like Brock Purdy was pretty darn good last year.
Better than that, Steiny. I'm with you. Go ahead.
And I don't think he's going to be as good this upcoming season. First of all, he's starting out with injury. Secondly, I just don't you can't tell me that the more defenses see Brock Purdy,
I'm with you,
that he's going to come down a little.
Right. So I need to let you know this isn't a Brock Purdy conversation about how good he is. Yeah, this is the guy that I wanted to kick to the curb because how we treated Lance and called plays. But, Steiny, this is about Kyle Shanahan telling you I can do it with Garoppolo, I can do it with Mr. Irrelevant, and I damn sure can do it if it's Darnold or Trey Lance. That's why I'm confident.
They can be successful. Can they win a Super Bowl? Super Bowl.
Steiny, I want to look at you and say, yeah, why not? Why should we think different? They got to the game before the Super Bowl.
Because I look at the quarterbacks that have gotten there recently, and I don't see, like, I get it. Kyle can make the most out of a quarterback.
Okay. All right, But
you need a better That's an important position.
No doubt.
So every year they go into the season with an average quarterback.
I hate it, but you're right.
Well, and I don't. And so to me, every year they're kind of swimming upstream because the most important position in the game, the 49ers have to cajole and finagle and everything else they think is set up.
No doubt. There's so many places I want to go, but again, I'm giving Kyle Shanahan the biggest compliment again, Steiny, with it could be Darnold or Trey Lance, and I still feel like the team goes to the same plateau. That's how great and of an impact Kyle has on this offense. And Kyle's not perfect. You throw the flag early on, maybe you win that game.
This is going to get people upset. Yeah. But the more I think about it, the more I think, okay, they're going to go into next year or this year, exactly like they went into last year. What did they want to do last year? They were talking about trying to do what the Warriors have failed at. We're going to develop Trey Lance and win a Super Bowl.
Because he started week 1 in Chicago.
Work out?
Steiny, hey.
How did that work out?
He got hurt in week 2.
You know what you're trying to do this year? You're trying to develop Brock Purdy and win a Super Bowl. You're going to rely on a guy that's got 8 starts to take you all the way to the Super Bowl.
Okay, but
I don't like that.
He's got 2 playoff victories over a damn good Dallas Cowboy defense and a Seattle team that they were losing to.
Seattle stunk.
Yeah, but they're better. But they were able to. Walker came in with that ground game. They controlled the clock a little bit. That wasn't no easy game, but
not good enough. They're not good enough at the quarterback position.
So I think we're on 2 different islands. Shout out Gilligan. You think this is a Brock Purdy? It sounds to me that you feel like they don't have enough. And I'm saying, what else does he have to prove to you or anybody, Kyle, that he can do it with Jimmy?
How about drafting somebody better than the quarterbacks you've had for 7 years?
Well, okay.
7 years. We've gone into every season, and that position is murky.
Okay, but can you
saying.
honestly tell me with your chest out, Matthew Steinmetz, that you know what Trey Lance is going to be? Because he could be a superstar.
No, he can't.
Quarterbacked 2 games.
I shouldn't say no, he can't.
That's okay.
That's hope.
We don't know. We need to find. The organization needs to find out.
Feels like they know.
See,
why did they sign
You're going to be right
Darnold?
if Darnold comes out if he starts week 1. If it's Sam Darnold, then this thing's a failure. The Trey Lance thing. But I'm not ready to put him with James Wiseman, Steiny. I'm nervous about him, his throwing mechanics and all that stuff, and the baseball windup. But Steiny, they better have him under center if Brock can't go, just like they did last year. So what's changed? Trey Lance was your starter week 1 and shy.
Right, he didn't look
and
good.
He got hurt a week later.
He didn't look good.
But that ain't good enough to keep him
so
from
you've got one quarterback who's played 8 games and one quarterback who's played 4 games.
Oh, nope. Yeah, right.
All right. But we're Super Bowl bound. I'm not saying Purdy stinks. I'm not saying Trey Lance is a bust. I'm just putting 2 major things together. They've got very little experience at the quarterback position. Again. But they want to win a Super Bowl. Those 2 things usually don't go hand in hand. That's all. Okay. That's my biggest concern with this team. The most important position in any sport, the 49ers continue to have essentially mediocrity there.
Hey, but this is going to sound crazy, Steiny. It's good mediocrity. How do you get to a Super Bowl in 2 NFC championship games the last year with quote-unquote lesser at the quarterback position?
That's why. See, I look at the Niners now like I look at the Warriors. What happened this year? They won 44 games, okay? They're getting a little bit older. So
missed an important player for 2 months.
Well, the Niners miss an important player all year. Wow. What I'm saying is, what if I said to you, the one thing, they made what? 3 NFC championships and 1 Super Bowl? But they haven't won any? Yeah, I would say the proof's in the pudding. You can't win this team and Kyle Shanahan can't win a Super Bowl with Purdy, with Garoppolo, with I don't know who else quarterback this team. Trey Lance.
So you're out. I'm just asking for the people in the back.
Quarterback position's not strong enough.
Are you out on Trey, Steiny?
I wouldn't say I'm out on Trey, but I'm not expecting somebody who's – no, I'm not out on Trey. But I think it's ludicrous to think that a guy who's played 4 games, very little college, he's like Kuminga. I just don't think Kuminga would play 30 minutes on a championship team, and I don't think Trey Lance is anywhere near being a Super Bowl type quarterback.
But hey, that's how you feel. But don't we know this? They left camp last year with Trey Lance with the keys, regardless
of
what.
They thought he was the best quarterback. Do you think?
No, I'm 50-50 because I'll never forget you saying Kyle probably went into the OGs and told them if this thing don't get off to a great start, we got plan B. I believe all that. My thing to you is politics involved. And if last year your prized possession that you moved mountains to get, you felt like he should start even if it was kind of sketchy, if Trey Lance is healthy, how the hell does the politics not help Trey get out there and let us find out what he can do? And that could be a fail, but we're going to find out, Matt. We have to.
Maybe they know. Practice matters.
Maybe they know.
The other thing is, I look at it from a differing point of view, and mine is, so they moved up to get Trey Lance. They risked, it was a big game. It was a gamble. It's Kyle's guy, and he still can't. For whatever reason, he's still not the number 1 right now. In fact, at best, he's the number 2. He's behind Brock Purdy.
Well,
that's who's like. Can we say that's a fact? Right?
No, it can't. To me, it can't be a fact because Brock is not going to be available week 1. I'm no doctor. That's what's happening here, Steiny. So now you're telling me that Trey Lance, who got the start last year, can't beat out Darnold, or he's not got it. Well, go boxing. I saw a horrible score decision this last week with Haney fights. Steiny, shout out Oakland, but you're telling me he can't beat Darnold, and if he can't. Trey Lance?
No, he can't.
Then I'll tell you are right. They must know already. He's starting week 1.
Who?
And Trey Lance. And this is because 90% of it is.
If I said that,
Darnold,
you'd be like,
Purdy won't be available.
Right, but if I said that, you would say, how do you know he's going to start?
Because he started last. Now you're telling me last year didn't mean nothing. He only won a game and a half and he was gone last year. So he didn't mess up that bad or show us that he couldn't do it. Yeah, you're right, in the monsoon, and then he got hurt against Seattle. Yeah. You're saying that's enough for them to say, we won't let him go out again? And
I don't know. I don't know. Who's going to start week 1 for the Niners?
It has to be Lance.
I don't know. And that's to me, the biggest issue. Basic Kev. Steiny sound like a Niner hater. I'm not being a Niner hater.
You're speaking real on the quarterback position.
I'm looking at their quarterback position, and I'm thinking it's going to bite them again.